Good morning from downtown Kearney the Bricks, and welcome to the 2023 University of Nebraska at Kearney Homecoming Parade. I'm Todd Gatula, Senior Director of Communications and Marketing at UNK, and today we have nearly 100 parade entries in this annual event, which helps cap a week of homecoming events on the UNK campus. It's currently 73 degrees here in downtown Kearney, 68 degrees if you're in the shade. An unseasonably warm fall morning in what's going to be a fun and warm homecoming day here in Kearney in central Nebraska. We're glad you've joined us for the broadcast of today's parade. Joining us this morning is Brandon Bennett. Brandon's a Kearney realtor, a longtime radio announcer in the Kearney and central Nebraska communities, a former UNK employee, and a longtime UNK supporter. Brandon, welcome to this morning's broadcast.
As Chancellor Doug Christensen often says, it's a great day to be a Loper, and that kicks off here with not just homecoming, and as special as that is, Todd, but especially this year with the 100th anniversary of UNK's homecoming. Great scene down here on the Bricks, downtown Kearney. If you're familiar with the Kearney area, we're located right here on the intersection of 2nd Avenue and 22nd Street, right here in front of ABC Drug. And for those that just got pancakes this morning, we're only a block away from the Kearney Volunteer Fire Department. So go in, make your donation, have some pancakes. You can even get to that right after the parade here. The parade route is going to start around the Museum of Nebraska Art just north of us, come south, turn right and go west along Railroad Street, and then wind its way through the city of Kearney, north side of Pioneer Park. Two different broadcast locations. If you're here watching it or if you're home watching it, great vantage point here in Kearney.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day. Hey, we'd like to introduce our broadcast team this morning. We're bringing you this today. The UNK Communications and Marketing Department is heading up today's broadcast. On our team today is Kyle Means and Steph Galloway with UNK Communications, running some cameras and helping, and then also Jeff Babel and John Behrens with UNK and Athletics and the Loper Vision crew doing a great job behind the scenes to bring you today's broadcast. The 2023 homecoming theme, Brandon, is Press Play at UNK. It's video game inspired, so a lot of the entries today, you're seeing a lot of references to current throwback video games. But more than anything, today wraps up a really fun, busy week of homecoming events at UNK. It started Monday with a pep rally on campus, on the center of campus at the Bell Tower. We had a window decorating contest here downtown, decorating and painting a number of businesses, and then jumped into one of the biggies, the lip sync contest on Thursday night.
One of the biggest events throughout the year at the Health and Sports Center. If you look at the crowd there, maybe only commencement actually gets a bigger crowd inside the Health and Sports Center, because not only do you have faculty, staff, and students, but a lot of community members will just show up. Chancellor Christensen many times at commencement talks about how that room is his favorite room on campus, because that's where students start with their convocation, they end with commencement, and in the middle they have great athletic events, but also that lip sync contest, and the gym is almost completely full.
Yeah, great show, a lot of fun the other night, always a full house like you said. We also crowned our homecoming royalty, our king and queen that night, which we'll introduce here a little later in the broadcast as they're riding in the parade. And then yesterday, Friday, on campus, we had a number of alumni events. We had a Distinguished Alumni Awards where we recognized a number of outstanding alumni. Again, they'll be recognized, and we'll talk a little more about them as they ride through this morning's parade. And then, of course, last night, always another popular, well-attended event, the UNK Athletic Hall of Fame banquet, with those inductees honored for their contributions to Loper athletics over the years, and a great class of inductees there. And then today we wrap things up. After this parade, we'll be flying right over to Cope Stadium and Foster Field, both of us, Brandon, and a lot of this crew, and for a big football game and tailgate. We invite everybody to come over and start tailgating after the parade. It's a great atmosphere in Loperville out there in the parking lot in front of the stadium. But the big football game, 2 o'clock kickoff, your Lopers versus Washburn University. The Ichabods come to town.
Very unique mascot in the Washburn Ichabods. We'll talk about how that came about later in our broadcast, but for the purposes of today's game, it's a must-win game for both teams. Both UNK and Washburn come into today's matchup at 1-3. Washburn is led by Craig Schurig in his 22nd year as Ichabod head coach. That makes him the dean of MIAA football coaches. Been there a long time, won a conference championship, has 7 more postseason appearances, whether that's the playoffs or the bowl teams. So Coach Schurig knows how to develop a team, develop players, and win ball games. The problem with the Ichabods this year is week 3, they lost their 3-year starting quarterback in Kellen Simoncic to a shoulder injury in his non-throwing shoulder, broke his collarbone. So he can't play. So the Washburn Ichabods are starting a true freshman at quarterback. They lost week 1 to Pitt State. They lost week 3 to Missouri Southern. If you look at those scores, almost the exact same point differential that UNK lost to those same teams. So similar teams, similar matchup, similar losses to the exact same opponents. Good matchup today and a must-win to set up the rest of the season for both squads.
We're just a couple minutes here from the start of today's parade. The color guard's making its way towards us, but before they get to our broadcast point, let's talk a little bit more about that Loper football team, a new coaching staff for the University of Nebraska Kearney football team, and have a couple of close losses here to start the year, but they're right there. Coach Held was at the pep rally the other night at Lip Sync, and he said, stick with us, we're right there, we're ready to turn the corner. Talk a little bit about the Lopers and what people can expect to see today.
First 2 losses this year were by a combined total of 8 points. Last week, they had the number 3 ranked team on the ropes at their very large stadium in Pittsburgh. For UNK, you got a 2-time All-American quarterback in TJ Davis. You have a returning linebacker in Zach Schlager. A lot of other talent comes in. Anytime a new coach brings in a whole new staff with existing players and some new players, going to take some time for all of that to fit together. For UNK, you can see flashes of what that offense can be. Coach Schaffner's defense has played lights out, especially in the first half and the third quarter. UNK offense has an opportunity today to put all 4 quarters together. Could be a big homecoming win for the Lopers.
Man, now I'm excited, ready for some football. But hey, first, we've got a homecoming parade to bring you today. 100 entries in this year's 2023 UNK homecoming parade. It's one of the biggest parades we've seen in a few years. It's considered the largest homecoming parade in the state of Nebraska and around. And first up today, you'll see our UNK ROTC Color Guard, the Reserve Officers Training Corps, the ROTC. It's a college to military program that trains students to become commissioned officers while also earning their academic degrees. Following them closely behind, you'll see a series of fire trucks from the Kearney Volunteer Fire Department. The Kearney Volunteer Fire Department is the largest volunteer fire department in Nebraska with 55 volunteers. It serves the city of Kearney and 272 square miles surrounding Kearney. The Kearney Volunteer Fire Department. Also joining us today is the CHI Health Good Samaritan EMS crew. CHI Good Samaritan has provided emergency ambulance service to the city of Kearney and Buffalo County since 1988. The hospital staff also provides mutual aid response to a number of area ambulance and rescue squads.
And Todd, you mentioned earlier about the ROTC program at UNK. Kearney State College and Kearney State Teachers College decades ago had an ROTC program that went away about 15, 17 years ago. We got the gold program back, the Reserve Officer Corps for the National Guard. In a couple of years, good to see ROTC come back to UNK. Kicking off our parade today, the Grand Marshal, Jan and Jean Beerbaum. Anyone who knows Jan or Jean knows they are Lopers through and through. Avid UNK supporters since their move to Kearney in 1976, supporting UNK athletics at home on the road. Jan worked at the UNK finance office for 39 years, retiring in 2018, and Jean has been on the UNK football backers committee since its inception and has been a long-time timer for UNK men's basketball teams, even going back to 1976 for the non-math majors. That's 47 years. The vehicle they're in is a 1957 Chevy Bel Air convertible driven by and courtesy of Brad Kearney. Right behind them, Julie Schaefer, the Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at UNK. Schaefer is a Chief Academic Officer at UNK, overseeing 3 academic colleges, general studies, graduate studies, and academic outreach. The position also oversees various academic and institutional research resources also.
Julie joining us today's parade.
Yeah, I bet I'll get along.
Boy, Brandon, again, what a crowd as you look up and down the street here. Our broadcast point is right here at the intersection of 22nd and Central Avenue, downtown Kearney. If you're familiar with the bricks in the downtown business district, we're located right in front of ABC Drug. We need to give a little shout out for letting us use our power and internet connection today. Always important to broadcast. They've been a great partner. So again, we're just a block west of the Kearney Fire Department, Kearney Hub if you're familiar, as the parade is getting started here and coming down the bricks. But again, Brandon, what a crowd as you look up and down the streets here at Central Avenue. Literally hundreds of people lining the streets, a really large crowd for today's event.
Anybody who's ever been downtown here in Kearney on the bricks knows how special it is. I'm sure that the city of Kearney doesn't always like having to repair the bricks, but as a citizen and a longtime member of the Kearney community, love being down here. It's very special. Now they've not only added a lot of aesthetics like the trees and things, but they've also added a new speaker system downtown. So as you're walking up and down and experiencing downtown on the bricks, you can experience some music and some nice announcements throughout your time when you're spending time down here in Kearney.
And speaking of music, as you see Julie Schaefer, our Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, make her way through the parade route. Up next, you're going to see here real shortly the UNK Pride of the Plains Marching Band. Brandon.
Pride of the Plains Marching Band leads off the bands for today's parade. The Pride has traveled internationally, performing in Italy and France in 2011, Norway in 2015, and Ireland in both 2019 and 2020. Drum majors this year are Sam Heitz of York and Emma Schroeder of Kennesaw. The Pride is under the direction of Brian Albert and Dwayne Bierman, and the color guard instructor is Adrienne Roll. Todd, one of the great traditions that I've always enjoyed about UNK is most places have a fight song. You're familiar with Hail Varsity or Hail to the Victors or Rock Chalk Jayhawk. UNK almost has two fight songs. You have the actual fight song, and what you're hearing, the Pride of the Plains now, is actually called the color song, what most people associate with a fight song. So depends on the game, depends on the time. You may hear any one of two separate traditional fight songs at UNK.
Reasons to get up and clap when the band comes through. And that's what today's crowd's definitely doing. Enjoy a little music here from your Pride of the Plains Marching Band.
Plains has about 75 members of this year's squad, and right behind them, the UNK Spirit Squad, comprised of both the UNK Sapphires dance team, the cheerleading squad, and of course, Louie the Loper. Their purpose is to unify students, alumni, and fans, and serve as ambassadors at campus and community events, and to motivate and entertain the crowds at UNK game, the UNK Spirit Squad. And of course, right behind them, UNK Athletics, led by Athletic Director Dr. Mark Bauer, getting in the spirit, throwing candy to the little ones. If he's not careful, he will jump into his regular pace for his marathons. He may get to the end line before anybody else does. UNK Athletics, home to more than 425 student athletes who participate in 15 NCAA Division II sports. Members of this year's football squad, volleyball and basketball players, and a whole host of, it's like the old line in the movie. How many of them are there? Looks like all of them, Todd.
Looks like all 450 of those we mentioned are here, other than maybe the football players today, but a great group and a great showing from UNK Athletics Department. Come out and catch a game if you haven't. Join us 2 o'clock this afternoon for Loper football. Of course, a full calendar of events throughout the year. Trailing our Loper athletes today is longtime UNK supporter and fan employee Sherry Morrow. Sherry Morrow, this is a 1968 Corvair Ultra van that Sherry made in tribute to Kearney State College in UNK, where she attended school. It's one of the most recognizable vehicles in Kearney. Fewer than 400 of these things were produced, with most of them coming from a plant Brandon in Hutchinson, Kansas. It features a queen-size bed, bathroom and shower, a 3-burner stove, a sink, refrigerator, and even a folding table. Sounds like the perfect tailgate vehicle, and you'll see that most days on campus at Loper football games during the tailgate.
Sherry usually parks that at the northeast corner of Ron and Carol Cope Stadium at Foster Field, and very well recognized. And there was a great article. Go to our website, unk.edu, and find that article, a great one, about Sherry and that vehicle.
Now you're seeing our King and Queen Ethan Chancho of Fullerton and Queen Emma Bond of Kearney representing Loper Programming Activities Council, our homecoming King and Queen, and our homecoming royalty finalists. Our Queen candidates this year, in addition to Chancho and Bond, are Katie Cornelio of Colorado Springs, Daly Dye of Gresham, and Kayla Noonenkamp of Omaha. And King candidates you see there, Ben Crocker of Kearney, Jonah Eaglefeather of Hastings, and William Ott of O'Neill, your 2023 homecoming royalty finalists at UNK.
One of those true memory-making moments. Had a chance when I was here in a more full-time capacity at UNK to know many of the homecoming court over so many years, and they would always come back, and that was one of their greatest memories, was walking or being ridden down here in the middle of the bricks and having that homecoming moment for themselves.
Now we'll let you take a listen to the Kearney 8th grade band, which is a combination of 8th graders from Horizon and Sunrise Middle Schools right here in Kearney.
And for the Kearney 8th grade band, this year comprising of about 50 middle schoolers, led by Mrs. Bean and Mr. Nebezniak, the Kearney 8th grade band. Up next, First National Bank of Omaha, the third largest privately held bank subsidiary in the United States with $30 billion under assets and 5,000 employees. The bank operates more than 100 branches across the Midwest. Right behind them, continuing the green theme of the Girl Scouts of Nebraska, the largest girls-serving organization in the state with about 13,700 members. It has 6 service centers, 6 camps, and 1 outdoor education facility spanning all 92 counties across the state of Nebraska. And the first of our distinguished alumni, Dr. Brian Bulkey of Central City, one of this year's 2023 Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. He's the trauma director and chief of staff for Merrick Medical Center in Central City. Brian is a 1993 UNK graduate. The first of our distinguished alumni, Dr. Brian Bulkey. Up next, in the large truck and the huge parade float coming through, the first of our game themes, UNK Intercultural Engagement and Leadership. The office has been at UNK since 1997. Its mission, to promote environments that are affirming, welcoming, equitable, and inclusive at UNK with the goal of advancing students' belonging and growth. The UNK Intercultural Engagement Leadership looks like a Mario. I have yet to see a Contra or a Tecmo Bowl, but I suppose that belies my age a little bit, Todd.
I told you not to age us today, Brandon, but you just did. I was looking for, some asteroids, Space Invaders and stuff, too. A little Atari 2600. Hey, next up, Rooted Realty Group here in Kearney. Rooted Realty is owned by Wendy Christ, has a team of 10 realtors serving your real estate needs in Kearney, surrounding areas. Rooted Realty Group. Next band for the day is the Deschler Junior High Band. It's made up of 30 members. Deschler's a Class D school located about, 60 miles south of York, Brandon. Deschler Junior High Band. Take a listen. Sexual Abuse Family Education Center. The Safe Center's mission is to provide free and confidential services for those affected by dating violence, domestic violence, human trafficking, sexual assault, and stalking, while bringing awareness and prevention efforts across South Central Nebraska.
Up next, our team float, competitor number 2, Delta Tau Delta, Sigma Tau Gamma, and Alpha Phi. This float by the 3 of those Greek letter organizations shows one of history's most famous games, that is Pac-Man. It's one of those I can recognize, Tom. Featured are Ghost and Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man from both of those games. Delta Tau Delta, Sigma Tau Gamma, and Alpha Phi. Up next, a Distinguished Alumni Award with its own little mascot. Look at that little cute puppy dog sticking out there. Tim Carman is one of this year's 2023 Distinguished Alumni Award recipients. Tim is a James Beard Award-winning food writer and columnist for the the Washington Post. He's a 1984 Kearney State College graduate and lives in Hyattsville, Maryland. I'll bet he's got some stories to tell about restaurants and establishments that he's been to. Up next, One Day for UNK, 24-hour fundraiser, Day of Giving, where the University of Nebraska Kearney will ask for financial support for each of its 3 colleges, scholarships, Loper athletics, and student organizations. Now in its 3rd year, One Day for UNK has raised $250,000 each in its first 2 years of existence.
Again, if you just joined us, I'm Todd Gatula, Senior Director of Communications at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Along with me today is Kearney Realtor, longtime PA announcer and Loper Athletic supporter Brandon Bennett. We're in downtown Kearney for the 2023 UNK Homecoming Parade. You see Pumpkin Patch Child Care Center here.
They're located at the First United Methodist Church here in Kearney. The Pumpkin Patch Child Care Center cares for children 6 weeks all the way up to 13 years old. They offer preschool classes. The center has been in operation since 1992. That's the Pumpkin Patch Child Care Center.
Next up, we have our student government, student body president, student regent, Temo Molina. Temo's from Stanton and a junior at UNK, and with him is Olivia Lawless from Aurora. She's currently serves as secretary and treasury on the student government cabinet as in business administration with an emphasis in finance minor.
As you can see, as the sun continues to make its way across the sky, good chunk of our parade route is in the shade. Also a good chunk is in the sun. And as you mentioned, Todd, in the opener, it's about a 7 or 8 degree difference whether you're on the west side of Central Avenue here, or if you're on the west side of the east side here. If you're in the shade, a little cooler. If you're in the sun, it's quite a bit warmer. Up next, the pride of the Mustangs, the SEM Public School Band, Sumner Eddyville Miller. Trip down to Kearney, sounding really nice here downtown on the bricks. The Mustang Marching Band under the direction of Dr. Justin Bosak playing Aztec Fire. Give a listen. Next, we have the International Student Association, organization that focuses on making transitions into the United States easier while giving all students a platform to express and learn about the different countries and cultures around the world. And if you haven't experienced their food festival in the spring, it is truly a sight, a sound, and a taste to behold.
International students are a great part of our diversity on campus. We also have with us, the Japanese Association at Kearney, the Korean Association at Kearney. Always very active students on our campus, do a lot of great events open to the community, both campus and community. Also joining us today is Warren Twarek. He's a 2023 Jim Rundstrom Distinguished Alumni Service Award recipient. Ryan's an enterprise account exec for Master Control, and he's a longtime volunteer for the UNK Alumni Association. Ryan lives in Mission Viejo, California, as a 1998 UNK graduate. Following Ryan is the Mount Carmel Home here in Kearney. Mount Carmel Home is a 75-bed nonprofit skilled nursing facility in Kearney. It employs more than 100 people. It's operated in Kearney since 1929. That's one of Kearney's longest existing businesses, going back 1999, I believe, Brandon, even at its same location it's at today. It's just expanded over the years. So the Mount Carmel Home here in Kearney. Nice to see some residents join us in the ride down the parade route. I'm sure they're having a great time in there, seeing everybody along the route.
Wonder how many of their current residents were members of the parade route in other different venues and other capacities throughout the years.
Also with us today is Tom McCann. Tom's a longtime wrestling coach here in Kearney. He's retired from Kearney High. Has been an assistant coach the past 10 years for the Lopers at UNK, and is a member of the Nebraska High School Hall of Fame. With him, as you see there, is UNK wrestler Austin Eldridge. Austin won a national champion last year at 174 pounds for the Lopers.
And just 2 weeks ago, at a fourth quarter break during the football game, received his national championship ring. And I honestly don't know which is bigger, the ring or me. That is a massive rock that he got for his national championship.
Pretty cool moment there, and you'll see the Overton Public School Band joining us. The Overton Band's directed by Evan Nabin. Behind the Overton Band is the Buffalo County Republican Party, whose mission is to advance Republican philosophy to all citizens in Buffalo County and help get Republicans elected to office.
Just crossing 22nd Street here, Central Avenue, our next UNK team float. This one from Loper Catholic. Loper Catholic is the campus organization of St. Teresa of Calcutta Newman Center on campus. Newman Center's mission is transforming college students into missionary disciples. Loper Catholic is a ministry organization designed to serve the college students of Kearney. Team float, Loper Catholic. Not only do they have the Pac-Man theme, but you'll see coming up, they also have Super Mario. A Pac-Man on one side, Super Mario on the other. A double dipper today. Dusty Burge is the next of our distinguished alumnus recipients with us today. Dusty is a 2023 Distinguished Young Alumnus Award. He's an entrepreneur starting not just one but three businesses since his 2011 graduation here from UNK, and he was actually a member of the Royalty Court when he was here. Chief Executive Officer for his startup Fast Forward, lives here in Kearney. fact, just had a ribbon cutting for his newest and largest location here. Behind them, the Kearney High cheerleaders, your 2023-24 Kearney High cheer team, led by Kearney High alum and current UNK cheerleader Rihanna Jackson. Kearney High cheer team traveled to Okoboji, Iowa this summer, where they placed first in the varsity game day competition and even got a bid to compete at nationals. Right behind them was Senator John Lowe, District 37 representative here from Kearney. Also represents the Gibbon and Shelton areas of the Nebraska legislature. Senator Lowe completing his 7th year in the legislature. He and his wife Kim are both graduates of Kearney State and are riding in a 1976 Eldorado Cadillac convertible.
Close behind, Caldwell Banker Town and Country Realty, which has served Kearney and the surrounding areas since 1982. Jamie Bullitt and Betty Warren are co-owners and lead a team of 23 agents at Caldwell Banker. Nice lineup here, Caldwell Banker staff. They've got some Jeeps following a string of 3-4 Jeeps in the parade entry, kind of back to back as they make their way through the route here in downtown Kearney. Again, you're watching the 2023 University of Nebraska at Kearney Homecoming Parade. It's here in downtown Kearney on the Bricks, the local business district. Nearly 100 entries in today's parade, one of the largest in recent years, and we always plug and advertise this event, and it remains true that this is one of the largest university homecoming parades in the state of Nebraska and Midwest.
And like so many homecoming traditions that dates back to about 1910 or so, it's always nice to be able to have those people that maybe just for that one time of year come back and visit their alma mater and relive some of those old memories from the town or the campus, all those different ways, and maybe even some of those memories that you're glad existed before social media.
Now you see the Pleasanton Marching Bulldogs from Pleasanton. This is their second performance this season. Led by Brendan Gibbons, the Marching Bulldogs have received many awards, including Best in Class at UNK Homecoming last year and a Division I ratings at Harvest of Harnum.
Ahead of them was the Kearney Student Speech Language Hearing Association and Operation SMILE, organization for students at UNK with an interest in speech language pathology or audiology. And UNK Operation SMILE is part of an international exchange organization that fundraises and advocates for cleft lip and palate surgeries for children across the globe.
Youngins having a good time gathering that candy and everything's being tossed out today. Big crowd here today, Brandon. Boy, the streets are lined 6, 7, 8 deep in this 5-6 block stretch where we're located here along Central Avenue. Very large crowd.
It's always fun to watch a parade crowd that will start on the sidewalk, and then as the day progresses on, everyone gets a little closer and a little closer and a little closer to all the different parade floats and activities coming through.
Now you see the First Lutheran Preschool, which provides a Christian environment that focuses on academic, spiritual, physical, and social development of children. First Lutheran Preschool, a number of preschoolers on that float having a great time today. And one of a number of area businesses that take part in the parade is Just for Kicks, which is a dance program that offers dance classes ages 3 through 12th grade. They offer studio styles that include kick and hip-hop, jazz, lyrical dance. The classes are held at Yonda's Music and Pro Audio here in Kearney. We'll let you enjoy a little view of Kearney Just for Kicks. Maybe a few former UNK dance team members in this group, so obviously employees and help with Just for Kicks.
And maybe even some future Sapphires and Lucky Stars and Dance Cats out there.
Even better, even better. Next up, Lisa Graff Tibbins. She's an inductee into the Athletic Hall of Fame. Lisa's one of the top softball players and pitchers in UNK history. She was the 1997 RMAC Pitcher of the Year and part of Teams Brandon that won 156 games, 4 conference titles, and reached the Elite Eight 3 times. She lives in Omaha, is a 1999 graduate of UNK. Right behind her, Rich Rainberg, 1971 Kearney State College graduate. How cool is this golf cart? He's driving a 1958 Chevy golf cart that he built himself. Again, Rick, 1971, Kearney State College graduate. We need to get him a can of blue paint, maybe make that baby blue and gold, yeah?
That's a lot of pink.
Another business joining us today, Haven Lighting Solutions. Haven's an exterior holiday lighting company that specializes in commercial and residential holiday lighting. Enjoy Haven's float called the Christmas Yeti. We're that close to the holidays, aren't we?
Closer than most people would think. Somebody just reminded me that it's 3 months away from Christmas here just this past week, and I haven't even started Christmas shopping yet. Also with us today is Stan Klaus. Stan's running for the Nebraska State Legislature's District 37 seat, which covers Buffalo County. Stan, of course, has served as the Kearney mayor. He's a longtime mayor, leader here in Kearney since 2006, and also a 40-plus year employee of Nebraska Public Power District. Stan Klaus. Had the opportunity to have a little breakfast this morning with Stan, walked in with him, and had some pancakes together, and looking forward to a good game versus Washburn, and talked a little bit about what he was up to lately, and had a really good breakfast with Stan. Behind Stan, you can hear the Marching Centurions. The Centura High School Marching Band, under the direction of Kelly Jordan, led by drum major Caden Anderson, their first parade of the year. Looks like they've got their sound and their steps down already, Todd, and they previously scored superior ratings at the Minden Band Fest, the Harvest of Harmony, and third place just a week ago at the UNK Band Day. The Centura High School Marching Centurions.
Early season practice with pausing in the middle of a parade route. You just want to march and play, and then things get backed up. So nice little drill before the big competitions. Good sounding group.
The Kearney Public Library in Buffalo County Bookmobile, one of those very highly recognizable vehicles across town. The library offers a large collection of books, digital library learning and research items, as well as, of course, the large bus converted to the Bookmobile, which visits schools, care facilities, and other locations. Library also has meeting rooms, study rooms, computer labs, and other services available. And if you haven't visited the Kearney Public Library and all the renovations they've had over the last 5 to 10 years, it truly is a jewel here in downtown Kearney. Alpha Zeta Delta, Phi Delta Theta, Lambda Theta, the first place participants in Loper Feud on Wednesday, and third in this week's window display contest. Sporting Pac-Man, Galaga. Boy, it's been a minute since I played Galaga, Todd. Street Fighter, Donkey Kong. They have my vote for the most amount of games that I recognize.
You need to put a few of those in the student union.
Heather Steffen, 2023 Athletic Hall of Fame inductee. Heather was a member of one of UNK's most dominant women's basketball teams that from 2001 to 2004 won 100 games, 3 regular season and 2 conference title tournaments. She was a 3-time All-Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference pick, scoring 1,000 points with 300 assists and 900 rebounds over her Loper career. Heather currently lives in Omaha. Heather Steffen, UNK Athletic Hall of Fame inductee this fall. And we mentioned the Jeeps earlier, Todd, and this is one of the largest Jeep clubs in the state of Nebraska, the Kearney Jeep Club. Group of area Jeep enthusiasts. They meet monthly and also drive in many parades and community events together throughout the state. The club also schedules several trail rides and other outings throughout the year, as well as community service projects such as cleanup days. The Kearney Jeep Club.
9 or 10 entries here, if my count's right. 9, I guess. So a really good turnout from their club represented here today. And those blue ones just look a little sweeter, don't they?
I think so. I would vote blue.
So we're biased. We looked at Loper blue and gold. Hey, we're supposed to. It's UNK homecoming parade, right?
You may recognize that guy, Loper fans. Mitch O'Neill, longtime UNK employee leading the Knights of Columbus. Charity, unity, fraternity, patriotism, all cores and principles of the order. Knights of Columbus is centered around faith, family, and community. Knights of Columbus, who are just south of us here, is a men's fraternal organization. The Knights of Columbus, led by longtime UNK employee and Loper fan Mitch O'Neill. Up next, Kearney-Buffalo County CASA, the Court-Appointed Special Advocates, a nonprofit organization that advocates for abused, abandoned, and neglected children in Kearney and Buffalo counties. CASA recruits, screens, trains, and supports volunteers to be with kids as they navigate their way through the court process. They have a huge fundraiser gala, the Superhero Gala, every spring about April or so. Kearney, Buffalo County CASA.
And boy, we're just going to let you listen to this next one. The Lexington Middle School Band, 197 members. Incredible. For over a decade, the junior pride of the Minuteman Band has consistently earned superior ratings in their ensembles, led by Spencer Hansen giving us a little wave. But take a listen here and watch the Lexington Middle School Band. It's a 7th and 8th grade group, one of Nebraska's largest middle school band with 197 members.
Todd, that may be the biggest band we see all year. I know that Kearney High's band, who couldn't be here today, has 170 members. For them to have 197 just in middle school, that's a sight and a sound to behold.
It is incredible. Following the Lexington Band is Edging, Nebraska. It's a full-service concrete edging, sprinkler, and landscaping business based in Kearney and owned by Tim Mahler, Edging, Nebraska. Behind Edging, Nebraska is Ted Reel. You'll see here in a minute on your screen. another inductee into the UNK Athletic Hall of Fame. Ted was a two-time All-American wrestler at Kearney State College in the 1980s. He's the program's first ever national finalist, finishing second in 1984. Ted lives in Hickman, down the Lincoln area. Behind Ted is Lana Peaster. Lana is a Gibbon native and lifelong Buffalo County resident. She's a registered nurse and small business partner, running for Nebraska State Legislature District 37 candidate, Lana Peaster. The parade route today with her husband Cam, it looks like, and a number of other supporters. Lana Peaster. 100 entries in today's parade, just under 100 entries in today's UNK homecoming parade. One of those is the Heartland Surgery Center. The Heartland Surgery Center is located in Kearney. Specializes in outpatient surgery that doesn't require an overnight stay. Services include cardiology, ear, nose, and throat surgery, orthopedic surgery, general surgery, and more. The Heartland Surgery Center.
Very fitting that they chose today's game to be Operation. I never had a steady enough hand to do that. Wasn't always very good at playing Operation. But they are, and that's why they're the Heartland Surgery Center.
Joining us shortly here is our next band today, which is the Brady Eagle Marching Band. This is the fourth year marching in the UNK Parade for the Brady Band. The band's under the direction of Valerie Pullman. Brady, if you're not familiar or need reminded, it's about 75 miles west of Kearney along Interstate 80. It's a grade 7 to 12 band, has about 40 members, led by drum major Coley Corrigan and flag team leader Jocelyn Franzen.
Crossing 22nd Street here, the Kearney Park and Recreation. City of Kearney Park and Recreation Department offers more than 200 programs from youth day camps to adult athletic leagues, including, of course, the Kearney Community Olympics, Heritage Day, and so many others. The department also oversees Meadowlark Hills Golf Course, Peterson Senior Activity Center, and more, and of course always helps care for the 18 parks that dot the city of Kearney. Kearney Park and Recreation. Our next entry in the UNK Team Float competition. They placed second in Loper Feud back on Wednesday. The combined team of Pi Kappa Alpha, Alpha Omicron Pi, and Sigma Lambda Gamma. Next up, the man who probably doesn't need much of an introduction except to say that many people may not know him, that his real first name is Thomas. We affectionately have always known him and call him Buck Mahoney. Very well-deserving entry into the Athletic Hall of Fame. Has been a sports editor for more than 40 years, 39 with the Kearney Hub and 5 before that with the Lexington Clipper Herald. Has covered countless Loper events, traveled thousands of miles, and of course recently was inducted into the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. Buck lives here in Kearney. Thomas J. Buck Mahoney, 2023 entrant into the UNK Athletic Hall of Fame. And you're watching them do their routine. Speaking of groups who don't need an introduction, the Razzmatazz Riders from the Fort Kearney Shriners Club. includes more than 100 members as part of the Shriners International, who, of course, always has the Shrine Bowl here on campus at UNK every year. They celebrated their 100th year anniversary this past year, and the fraternity continues to support Shriners Hospital for Children, which provides pediatric specialty care regardless of the family's ability to pay. And one of their big fundraisers, as always, is that Shrine Bowl here every June. As I often say, Todd, Chamber of Commerce weather here in Kearney, America, and started off at between 66 and 73 degrees depending on where you were standing. And it's warmed up a little bit, a little more sunshine here, but you really couldn't ask for a better time or temperature for a homecoming parade in Nebraska in the fall.
Boy, and last year we were talking here before we went on the air. We were wearing winter coats and scarves and earmuffs and trying to keep the coffee from freezing. So, boy, what a turn of events. Homecoming a little later last year and kind of back to its normal time frame this year. Youth Rehabilitation and Treatment Center. Kearney offers behavioral and skill building programming. Individual therapy is offered for youth with behavioral and mental health needs, including substance abuse needs. The Youth Rehabilitation and Treatment Center joining us today. Now you're hearing the Doniphan Trumbull Marching Cardinals, led by drum major Chase Groff. Shot there by Kyle Means on our broadcast team. If you just joined us, UNK Communications Marketing, UNK Athletics Low Provision bringing you today's parade, teaming up and partnering to bring you today's parade. There's Innermost Designs, located in Kearney. Innermost Designs, a full-service interior design team specializing in kitchen and lighting design. The company is operated by Hannah Kaiser, Lisa Hibbard, and Connie Glover. Innermost Designs. See a few members of the large crowd here today on hand for our homecoming parade. We're in downtown Kearney on the bricks. You're watching the 2023 University of Nebraska at Kearney homecoming parade. I'm Todd Gatula, along with Brandon Bennett, bringing you the parade. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast and see somebody you know. There's a shot of the Overland Trails Council of Kearney and Boy Scouts of America. Boy Scouts' goal is to train youth in responsible citizenship, character development, and self-reliance through a wide range of outdoor activities, educational programs, and career-oriented programs. Overland Trails Council of Kearney and Boy Scouts of America. Pack 13 there I saw a sign, or Pack 139, I apologize.
The very first homecoming parade I was ever a part of. I was 6 or 7 years old, and I was a Boy Scout part of Pack 88 back in the day. So nice to be able to come home and see other scouts getting their first parade experience just like I did once upon a time.
Great program. There you see Maureen Nichols. She's our College of Education Distinguished Educator of the Year. Maureen's from Grand Island. She spent 49 years as a classroom teacher, education advocate, and elected public official. Maureen Nichols of Grand Island. Our College of Education Distinguished Educator of the Year. Congratulations, Maureen. Next up is a few members of our Kearney City Council. There you see a shot of Randy Bushcutter making his way down the parade route, tossing out a few bags of candy. With him also today is Jonathan Nicola. Mayor Stan Klaus, you saw early in the parade route. I don't know if he was able to get to the back of the line and join this group, but your mayor and city councilor, Mayor Stan Klaus, Jonathan Nicola, Bruce Lear, Randy Bushcutter, and Tammy Moore.
There's Jonathan Nicola there. He had to do a quick turnaround as I was on my way to the parade route. Of course, I came a little early. My morning involved pancakes. I saw him jogging this morning. It's probably the reason that he looks like he looked like, and I had pancakes this morning.
Yeah, I saw Jonathan, too, this morning, bright and early, getting his morning run in here downtown. So he did a quick change and walking the parade route, getting a few extra steps in. Here's the ARC of Buffalo County. The ARC's a private nonprofit organization that provides services and advocacy to people with developmental disabilities and their families. The ARC of Buffalo County. Trailing the ARC is Ride Transit, of course. Ride Transit's one of the public transportation programs here in Kearney. Operates buses in 7 counties, not just Kearney. Provides public transportation to medical appointments, shopping trips, congregate dinners, social activities. If you need a ride, Ride Transit's there for you. Their services are open to the public at a very low, affordable cost fare. Ride Transit. Shortly, you're going to hear the Faith Christian School Band. Faith Christian Warrior Marching Band includes 14 members, grades 6 through 8. Most of them, Brandon, are marching for their first time this year. This is their first parade. We'll let you take a listen to the Faith Christian School Band. They're going to be playing their version of Stars and Stripes Forever. Nebraska Public Power District entry. MPPD is a public-owned utility, serves 84 of Nebraska's 93 counties. MPPD formed in 1970 when Consumers Public Power District, Platte Valley Public Power and Irrigation District, and the Nebraska Public Power System merged. Nebraska Public Power District. Great job here in our communities across the state of Nebraska. Strong business presence in a number of communities, including Kearney.
As Chancellor Christensen would say, keep up the good work.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Jeff Babel and Babel and his crew today, helping with behind-the-scenes work with our broadcast. Steph Galloway and Kyle Means from the university's communications office running cameras, so nice team effort. And doing all the hard work. We just get to sit here and talk while they do all the good stuff, bring you all these great shots and footage of today's parade. I'd like to thank them.
Now coming across 22nd Street, the UNK Honors Program. Home for academically motivated students, and many of them call home Men's Hall on UNK's campus, the first of the residence halls to be built. Purpose of the honors program is to challenge students to go above and beyond by fostering intellectual curiosity. The UNK Honors Program. And there is Justin Zaleski, the Gary Thomas Distinguished Music Award winner. Justin is a 2005 graduate, resides in Omaha. The orchestra director and strings teacher at Millard West High School, Rower Elementary, and Black Elk Elementary. The recipient of the Gary Thomas Distinguished Music Alumnus Award, Dr. Justin Zaleski. There's Hands of Heartland, and if you're not familiar with them, they came to Kearney about a year and a half ago, opened an office right next to Suwannee Thai restaurant across the campus from UNK. Expanded so quickly, they now have a north location as well. But Hands of Heartland, dedicated to supporting people with developmental disabilities. Hands of Heartland provides services for individuals with developmental disabilities, including residential homes, shared living day services, and job coaching. That's Hands of Heartland. There we see the Friends program, mentoring organization that promotes the personal development of youth through positive one-on-one role modeling. Elementary-age children are paired with a caring adult where they spend 1 hour each week together throughout the year. The Friends program. The Kearney Area Animal Shelter. Kearney Area Animal Shelter is a no-kill shelter, so there is no time limit imposed on animals in their care. The shelter partners with other animal welfare organizations and specialized rescues to help find homes for animals. So if you're looking for your next dog or cat or even other animal, might be able to find it at the Kearney Area Animal Shelter. And behind the kitty cats and the puppy dogs, you can hear the Crusader Marching Band from Grand Island Central Catholic, directed by Tony Birch. The Grand Island Central Catholic Marching Crusaders. And Miss Tri-City Preteen, Giselle Goutard. Giselle is the reigning Miss Tri-City Preteen with the America's National Teenage Scholarship Organization. Giselle is the daughter of Joel and Renee Goutard. She attends Horizon Middle School here in Kearney.
Here's the Don Fox Distinguished Chemistry alumna, Ruth Harding. Dr. Ruth Harding is a 2006 graduate and lives in Livermore, California. There you see Ruth. She's an operations manager at Global Security and Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. Your Don Fox Distinguished Chemistry Alumni Award. There's the Kearney High School Dance Cats close behind. They promote school spirit, provide entertainment at Kearney High School activities, sporting events, community functions. Last year, the team took home third place the state competition in the hip-hop category for Class A. They're coached by Maggie Rusher and Riley Cope. Riley, a member of the Sapphires dance team at UNK, and there you see Maggie with her team, the Kearney High School Dance Cats. They're followed by entry from the Kearney Area Chamber of Commerce. The Kearney Chamber promotes strong business practices, recognizes leadership and other outstanding contributions to the business community, and serves as a voice for Kearney area businesses. Kearney Chamber is the third largest chamber in Nebraska with 860 plus members, led by CEO President Derek Rusher, driving today's chamber truck through the parade route. Looks like he has some helpers from a couple of his daughters. His wife Maggie right in front of him, leading the Kearney High dance team. So Kearney Chamber, a great community organization.
They had 3 ribbon cuttings alone last week, and you can always tell the health of a chamber and a business community by how many new businesses are coming in or how many existing businesses are relocating and moving up. They had 3 ribbon cuttings last week.
Here's the Kearney Housing Agency, which provides housing assistance to low-income families and individuals. The Kearney Housing Agency, appreciate them joining UNK homecoming parade today. You're watching the 2023 University of Nebraska at Kearney homecoming parade. I'm Todd Gatula, helping bring today's live stream broadcast of today's event, joined by Brandon Bedditz. Brandon, thanks for joining us. It's been a great day with the big crowd, and what a fun event so far as we kind of wind down here, the final 20 or so entries of today's parade.
100th homecoming parade in the history of UNK, and homecoming parades really date back to about 1910. It depends on if it's Baylor or Mizzou or even the University of Illinois. All three lay claim to the first homecoming, but somewhere about 1910 was the first ever homecoming, and for UNK to follow that tradition very shortly after that says a lot about the early foresight for UNK, what was then the Kearney State Teachers College and Normal School.
There's a good sounding band, another one today coming our way, the Alma High School Band. The Alma High School Band this year has 37 members. The drum majorette is Addison Seabells. The band has been the Harvest of Harmony runner-up each of the past 5 years, was a champion in 2017. Take a listen and enjoy the sounds of the Alma High School Marching Band. Alma's located, just about an hour south, a little less than an hour south of Kearney, Harlan County. Good looking and good sounding group. Your Alma High School Band. You can see why they've won a number of those awards we've mentioned over the years. Here's Paul Davis Restoration. Paul Davis is a full-service residential and commercial emergency cleanup restoration company to help with fire, flood, mold, water, and storm damage. Paul Davis Restoration.
When the Kearney Area Chamber of Commerce float came through, we mentioned they had 3 ribbon cuttings. Paul Davis just had his, I believe on Thursday of this week, was one of those 3. And nice to be able to see that business expand and early business, new business here in Kearney, be able to join us for today's homecoming parade.
Here's another University of Nebraska at Kearney team float. This is the Sigma Phi Epsilon, Gamma Phi Beta, and Sigma Lambda Beta entry. This team took first in Thursday's lip sync competition, and they were also first in the adventure race. So, nice successful week for Sigma Phi Epsilon, Gamma Phi Beta, and Sigma Lambda Betas. Press play at UNK, the theme for this year's homecoming. It's a video game inspired theme, so a lot of fun entries, both throwback, current video game references. I like that smash, wash, burn sign on the side of the float. We take that this afternoon when the Lopers kick off at 2.
I hadn't thought about emphasizing it that way. Smash, wash, burn. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Next we see Sherry Morrow. Sherry has 5 different vehicles. Now you saw the Corvair Loper tailgate mobile earlier. She also has 4 other vehicles. Here you see some of them. A 1963 Chevy Corvair driven by John Benning. The 1966 Chevy Corvair driven by Charlie Pickens. And Sherry, of course, is a Kearney State graduate, former longtime UNK faculty member and director of the Nebraska Safety Center. Coming across 2nd Avenue here, off the bricks, onto the concrete, then back on the bricks again. Farm Bureau Financial Services. Farm Bureau offers insurance and financial services in 14 Midwest states. Products include auto, home, life, farm and ranch, business, and more. Insurance and financial services. Farm Bureau Financial Services. Hot Meals USA. If you like a hot meal, you like barbecue or anything around that, you're going to love Hot Meals USA, a nonprofit organization founded and headquartered here in Kearney. Mission is to provide people with resources to feed others, whether it's first responders or even sometimes victims, in times of disaster, using mobile equipment with the capacity to feed thousands, regardless of the conditions on the ground. Great charity organization here, Hot Meals USA.
Dick Cochran, as you said, local businessman here in charge, the founder of that, really developed a nationwide presence.
Earlier, we saw the Deschler Junior High Marching Band. Here is the Deschler High School Marching Band. Includes 33 members. The Deschler Flag Corps has 7 more members. Addison Eitzman, Deschler is a Class D school located about 60 miles south of York. Todd, I think they would have to win the award for the furthest to travel here. Brady is about 75 miles west, but York's got another 5 on that on the interstate. And then, of course, down in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, getting close to the old hometown of Auburn. Today's parade winding down. We're down to the last few entries here. UNK Homecoming Parade. Appreciate you joining us and watching. Hey, share the link with those you know. We'll leave this posted up, so if you're in the parade and want to go back and watch yourself or missed it and weren't available, this will be posted. We'll keep it up live on our YouTube channel and UNK page. So share the link.
Up next, Christine's Horseback Riding, located here in Kearney. Christine's Horseback Riding offers riding lessons, pony birthday parties, photo shoots, trail rides, and more. They also offer a day on the farm where kids can visit goats, chickens, and ponies.
Rounding out today's parade, the last 2 entries. The Loper Programming Activities Council chairs Emma Bond of Kearney and Zoe Jacobson of Elkhorn, and the LPAC Programming Activities Council. They're a student-run group that plans many of the popular events, including all of the homecoming week activities. They put together the spring concert, lip sync competition, famed student talent show. With 53 members, it's one of the largest student organizations on campus. The Loper Programming Activities Council bringing up the tail end of today's parade. Well, Brandon, man, what a parade today. 100 entries, great weather, huge crowd. It's been quite an hour, and appreciate you joining us and looking forward to the rest of the day's events.
Always an honor to be invited to be able to join things. And, Todd, I appreciate this. My first ever radio broadcast was 33 years ago. I was a freshman, fall of my freshman year of high school, and I was asked to do essentially what I'm doing here for my high school, and it was a tape delay on an old cassette system and was relayed back to the station and actually replayed the next day. So nice to be able to come home again on homecoming and kind of pick up where I left off.
Yep. Well, again, thanks for joining us at today's 2023 University of Nebraska Homecoming Parade. I'm Todd Gatula for Brandon Bennett. Have a great afternoon, and go Lopers.